Today I'm going to tell you a little story about subverting expectations, lies, love, and money. Sit down, grab yourself a beverage and some snacks, and enjoy. Unfortunately, throughout the past years, we have seen a lot of franchises assassinate beloved characters and shit on them, all in purpose of subverting expectations. Star Wars, Star Trek, Terminator, Predator, Masters of the Universe, and a subject of today's video, The Last of Us. My first time playing The Last of Us was on the PlayStation 3. My dad bought me a copy because he heard a lot of good things about this game. What a great game to buy to a 12-year-old. I remember liking the game but not having any strong feelings for it. Only after playing it a couple of years later I have grown to love the story of Joel and Ellie. The gameplay was kinda shit, but the character work was strong. I think it would be an understatement if I said that people loved the game. The reception to the reveal trailer of The Last of Us Part 2 was great. They advertised another Joel and Ellie adventure and everyone was happy. Personally, I thought that we didn't really need a sequel, but I can't say I wasn't interested in seeing what the sequel has to offer. More trailers came out and the hype kept increasing. We saw more footage of Joel and Ellie working together on something. Then came the leaks, and I don't think anyone was happy with what we saw. We got to see some stuff that didn't really sound very good, but come on, it's Naughty Dog, they always make great games, right? The context will definitely make everything better, right? The game came out and you could say people weren't thrilled about it. Some behind the scenes stuff also came out, so you could say that the atmosphere around The Last of Us 2 wasn't that great. You know, lying to your audience may not be such a good idea, to be honest. They changed the models in the trailers to make it look like you are traveling with Joel as Ellie. There must have been a reason for this. Did someone in the marketing see the script and wanted to apply damage control? Or did Kackman realize that the game was shit and wanted to make some last minute saves? But why would anyone want to save this game? Why would anyone be mad?
Give me your hand!
Don't look like you heard of us or something.
'Cause they have. You stupid old man.
And that's just the first hour. You know what people really love to see? The characters they love being shat on. Oh, I'm sorry, deconstructed. What this game did to such beloved characters like Joel and Ellie is criminal. The first 10 minutes of the game fool you into thinking that this is gonna be good. Joel talks to Tommy about the first game's ending, then he goes to Ellie, plays a song for her, and then they plan guitar lessons, and you think to yourself that this is gonna be a great story. It quickly falls apart after that segment. We get some incredible dialogue.
Bigot sandwiches.
To this day I can't believe that is an actual line. We get to see this game's incredible 10 out of 10 AI. But the thing that kicks off the story is Joel's death, and it is a great point of contention when it comes to this game. And for good reason, cause it's so stupid on so many levels. First of all, this.
Give me your hand! We're gonna have to run! There's too many of them! I'll cover you! Keep going! Come on, this way!
Remember this scene?
Easy.
Please!
Holy shit.
Help!
Are we gonna help him?
Put your seatbelt on, Ellie.
Well, what about the guy?
He ain't even hurt.
Alone and forsaken by fate and by man, oh Lord.
Or this scene?
Joel, stop! Look,
Do you see how Joel treats strangers? He is intelligent and cautious. And don't give me this bullshit that he has gone soft throughout the years. He has gone through so much over the course of this apocalypse. We know that they go on patrols regularly, and we know that they have fought other people.
What if we get hit by hunters again?
Joel was clearly active throughout these past years, and he wasn't just sitting on his ass doing nothing. And I just want to say that it is really funny that there is this manufactured massive horde of zombies out of nowhere, that Abby managed to bump into the one guy she is looking for, that Tommy just says to Abby what their names are. It's like the game itself is trying to kill Joel. Joel and Tommy just willingly go into a room full of people they don't know. Joel, for some reason, stands in the middle of the room, letting himself be surrounded. Tommy just randomly starts to spout every piece of information he remembers off the top of his head. Is this a fucking sitcom?
Passing through. You two live nearby?
We do. A few hours down the hill. Y'all should come back with us. We stop when we head out.
Appreciate it. I'm Mel, by the way.
Tommy. It's my brother.
Joe.
This is so ridiculous and silly, but still seeing Joel like this is painful, man. I wish this was it, but shitting on Joel is not over.
You still hear his screams?
What?
I hear them every night. Yeah. Yeah, that little bitch got what he deserved.
Tell me. What happened here?
Making a vaccine. Would have killed you.
don't you fucking touch me!
Joel, please just talk to her, explain what happened. And because Joel doesn't explain what actually transpired, you get annoyed at Ellie because we know what actually happened. Ellie is such a fucking bitch in this game. She constantly berates Joel just for existing, I guess.
You alright, kiddo?
What is wrong with you?
He had no right.
And you do?
I don't need your fucking help, Joel.
This game somehow managed to make me hate Ellie. I honestly wanted her to die, and I guess she would want that.
You're such an asshole.
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital. My life would have fucking mattered.
The game and the people that think all of this shit makes sense seem to forget how the first game ended. In the first game it seems like the Fireflies read the How to Be an Evil Organization 101 book. They knock out Joe when he's giving CPR to Ellie, they do not allow him to see Ellie, they don't honor the deal, they steal his gear, they hold him at gunpoint, they don't get Ellie's consent, and they immediately put her to sleep instead of waking her up first. In The Last of Us Part 2, they are shown to be so altruistic and just so good. The game even tries to manipulate you into thinking that it was such a hard choice for them. But wait, who is this doctor, you might ask? He was nowhere to be seen in the first game. That's definitely not him. As we come to find out, he's the greatest person in the world. He saves zebras. Come on, he's such a great guy. And did you know that his daughter is even better than him? She plays fetch with doggos. She avenged her father after this horrible man killed him. She's such a good person. How could anyone not love Abby? This is the most manipulative game, piece of media I have ever had the displeasure of witnessing. They shit on everything that we loved, and they seem surprised that we might not like that.
You can question the writing, but I would love to read your script if you do.
Exactly.
And those are the people that have largely said, let me tell you what's wrong with this story. I'm like, it is not the critic who counts, but the one who gets in the ring, whose face is marred with sweat and blood. So let me read your script. Let me read yours. And if your script is legitimately better, fucking send it to Neil Druckmann and take over Naughty Dog. Write a better story.
Fucking hilarious.
Do you think that game could be spoiled by a couple screenshots? Really? A studio with 30 plus years of development, with so many awards under their belt, they can't even put them all in one trophy closet or trophy. Yeah, they have a more established pedigree than any other studio I can possibly think of. They've been around and producing award-winning blockbuster crazy games for 3 decades. And this is the most biggest, ambitious game they've ever done. You really think that experience could be undone by a couple screenshots? I think 6 years of development could be undone by that. It's a game. It's a game. You have to experience it.
It wasn't just a couple of screenshots. Did you know that Kackman himself has given out a statement about the criticism of how Joel acted before he died? Druckmann countered by firstly stating that Joel and Tommy would not have survived had they not sought rescue from Abby's people. You manufactured this horde. It makes no sense for a horde to be here. You clearly showed us what happens with zombies around these spots. You teleported these zombies here to create manufactured tension. Second, he notes that also in the first Last of Us, Joel trusts a stranger and even fell asleep next to him. The article states that this obviously refers to Henry, and okay, let's see how Joel and Henry act.
If you haven't noticed, they don't keep kids around. Survival of the fittest. We could help each other. We got a hideout not too far from here. Be safer if we chat there.
All right, take us there. Oh, it just seems like there's a lot of people putting their stock on the Fireflies these days.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason for that.
So you don't know where they are, and you're just gonna drag him across the country to find them?
I tell you what, how about I worry about my brother, you worry about your girl.
Okay, we gotta get him up.
I'm sorry. We're leaving.
What? What's this bullshit?
Hey, now!
What the fuck, Henry?
Ellie is not asleep when Joel sleeps, and Joel also isn't letting himself be surrounded. And there's also the important fact that the bad guys don't keep kids around, so Henry and Sam are not on their team. The article also states that even after Henry's betrayal, Joel and Henry bond once more.
See? What'd I tell you, huh? He's good. Everything's fine. You know, Sam's the one who spotted you. You guys are taking quite a bit of water. What's wrong? Henry! Get back, son! Hey. He's pissed, but he's not gonna do anything.
You sure about that?
Stop!
Joel?
He left us to die out there.
No, you had a good chance of making it, and you did. But coming back for you meant putting him at risk. Stay back. If it was the other way around, would you have come back for us? I saved you.
He saved me too. We would have drowned.
Did you spot the key difference here? Henry saved Joel and Ellie from drowning, and even after that Joel is still not loosey-goosey around them. And later, when they are separated, Henry has to protect Ellie and Joel has to protect Sam. They go through some problems together, and that is why they bond. Also, Henry is an actually well-written character, so I guess that helps the players bond with him alongside Joel.
That's serious.
It's Tommy's birthday, and that's all he wanted to do is just rent 2 Harleys and drive cross country.
Oh, man. I could die happy if I could just ride one around the block. What was it like?
It was good. It was real good.
Good? Can you believe this guy? Come on, man, give me details. Describe it.
You know what? You two deserve a little privacy.
No, Ellie. This isn't just any regular motorcycle, okay? You get on that bad boy, you feel that engine? Nothing like it.
Oh, yeah? How would you know?
Seen it in my dreams.
Okay.
And makes it even more heartbreaking when this happens.
Ah, shit, he's turning!
That's my fucking brother!
Screw it!
It's all your fault!
Henry, no.
Do you recall what their reactions were when all of these people died?
Bye, Manuel, bye.
Maybe he kills Manny. Oh, please. Yes! Woo!
That's how Manny died.
Oh, good fucking riddance. Hated that guy.
Manny did get bodied.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was mean.
Oh my goodbye.
If we had played all of this before Ellie and Joel even entered the picture, I would have been so much more into her story.
You gotta be kidding me! All he wanted to do was watch anime and drink beer!
I guess you thought you were making a great argument, but you just fell flat on your face. I also want to add that the person who wrote this article says that some people think that Joel, with all of his experience, would have defeated the Horde. Where the fuck are these people? I have never seen anyone arguing that Joel should have killed all of these teleporting dead. I will put a link to the article in the description if you want to give it a read. The reception to the game was awful, to say the least, and the hate for it is strong to this day. Does anyone actually care about the first game's remake? Me personally, I just wanted to see how they changed the ending, and it was really fucking funny to see. The sales were initially great, but in the second week after release we saw an 80% drop. Now, sales almost always drop after some time, so let's see how other PlayStation exclusives did. God of War saw a sales drop of 35%, Spider-Man saw a sales drop of 42%. Compare them to The Last of Us Part 2 and it seems like something is wrong here. Lying to your audience, false advertising, disrespecting beloved characters, manipulating the player's emotions, and being a pretentious cock might not be good ideas. These practices have a clear effect on your audience's experience and the amount of people that want to buy your game. You might be surprised, but word of mouth is actually quite important, and disrespecting everything you have made before will have a huge effect on that. Naughty Dog, led by Neil Druckmann, has managed to completely break the trust of their fans and customers. I mean, I know that a lot of people think that this game is a 10 out of 10 high IQ masterpiece, and it is a possibility that because of those people we will get The Last of Us 3, but I fucking hope not. But I had hope before, and yeah. Now I want to take a look at the other subject of this video. How Yakuza handles its characters and how Sega treats their audience is quite extraordinary. In this day and age it seems so fresh. Here I want to take a look at the reveal event for Lost Judgment. The way they talk about the game is very unique, especially in the segment about gameplay where they explain exactly in what ways they improved the first game's combat. They talk about what was well received and what they changed in light of some criticism. It seems like they treat their audience like intelligent people, which is, nice. My journey with Yakuza started in November of 2018. Back when I was mainly playing on my PlayStation, and Yakuza Kiwami came out on PlayStation Plus. I installed it, played it for 10 minutes, and uninstalled it because I was a fucking idiot. One time I decided to give it another shot, and I played it through and I loved it. It was a difficult time in my life back then, and this game rekindled my love for gaming. The first game sees our main character Kiryu Kazuma protecting a little girl called Haruka. Over the course of the story they slowly grow to care about each other, and Haruka chips away at Kiryu's stonewall personality and we get to see more of his caring side. Sound familiar? I finished Kiwami and went on to play the rest of the series. I played the Judgment spin-offs, I even played Yakuza Ishin, which back then was only available in Japan. I even got a rubber ducky. I think you could say that I'm quite fond of these games. Except for Yakuza 6, that is fucking awful. There's plenty of issues with these games, but the characters stay strong throughout. In January of 2020 I completed Yakuza Like a Dragon and it was a magnificent experience. The theme of picking yourself up from rock bottom really shines through the characters and the story. Seeing characters smile, work through their problems, fight through their fears, and not being miserable all the time was quite impactful and fucking refreshing these days. What was specifically refreshing was seeing old characters from previous games not be treated like shit, not be ruined, and seeing the new characters actually having to prove themselves and go through their own trials and tribulations. After ending the prologue, our new protagonist Kasuga Ichiban literally becomes a bomb. There are even minigames that complement this. They somehow made gathering cans fun. Wow, the story and gameplay supporting each other? What other game could use that? Ichiban has to go through a lot to actually achieve something. No previous character that we have come to love has to be deconstructed to prop up the new character. The first time you meet some old characters, it's almost at the end of the story when you have spent countless hours exploring Ichiban and our new set of characters and have already grown attached to them. The whole combat system was changed to adhere to Ichiban's fantasy of being a hero from Dragon Quest. We met Majima and Saejima, whose stories we have thoroughly explored in previous games. They are arguably the hardest story boss fight in the entire game. Their dialogue matches their characters and they are a force to be reckoned with.
行くで兄弟あーやどうやひゃっほーぐるぐるっとよそ見すなや
Majima's reaction to finding out that Ichiban and crew are on their side is also priceless.
なんややっぱり味方やったんか大きにな六代目おかげでこの喧嘩不完全燃焼や
Somehow the writers were intelligent enough to know that we like these characters and don't want them deconstructed. I wish other writers were as smart. A similar thing happens when Ichiban meets Kiryu.
やってやるよ死ぬ気で来い
They even cared enough to not have him hit women if you have them in your party, cause that is a part of his character. Character being portrayed through story and gameplay? What other game could use that? The old characters are respected and the new ones are not the most incredible people in the world. The community mostly embraced the new direction and characters, the game received very high scores and the sales numbers were even higher than Yakuza 0 in the West. It did so well that Sega decided to launch every single Yakuza or Judgment game on the same day worldwide. I mean, not everyone obviously bought this game for the story, which you know is great because it's a game and not a fucking movie, but the atmospheres around these games and their similarities are interesting to say the least. Could it be that respecting beloved characters is actually a good idea? Could it be that putting in effort to make gameplay and story work in tandem pays off? It would seem so. Maybe we will get some flops to make these studios and publishers rethink their approach, but as of now, audiences will clap for mediocrity because they see a thing they recognize or they are being manipulated into thinking something is good. Critical thinking will turn on at some point, but as of now, things are yet to change. Thank you for watching.